We have the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the New Orleans Saints. This is your Week 8 2024 prediction and preview video. Hit subscribe if you're new. Also hit the like button. Let's start off with the home team, the Los Angeles Chargers. They're coming off a very tough loss against the Arizona Cardinals. They did not score an offensive touchdown in this game. They scored all field goals, and they lost this game 15-17. Justin Herbert on the day was very good. 27-39, 349 passing yards, 0 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions. J.K. Dobbins, 14 carries for 40 rushing yards. The run game was hard to get off in this game against the Arizona Cardinals, but that has to be the key to victory in this game for the Los Angeles Chargers. No Quentin Johnston last week. He's still dealing with an injury. He's questionable for this game. He's recovering from an ankle injury they suffered a couple weeks ago. You do have Ladd McConkey. Last week, he wasn't able to do much in the receiving game, but you need to get him more involved. He had 5 catches for 46 receiving yards. Will Dissly, 8 catches for 81 receiving yards last week. That's the big tight end. And Josh Palmer, 4 catches for 63 receiving yards in his own right. You have to go out there and get the run game going. That's the only way that the Los Angeles Chargers are going to go out there and beat the New Orleans Saints and try to go out there and put up points. The wide receivers are going to have a tough time going against the New Orleans Saints defensive backs. Even without Paulson Adebo, they have Kool-Aid McKinstry and Marshawn Lattimore. And this is a team that loves to go out there and play press man coverage. They have to get the run game going up top. But this is the thing that worries me about this matchup for the Chargers, because you look at it on paper, you'll say the New Orleans Saints are on a major losing streak. They haven't won a game since week 2. But you look at this defense, they have been struggling as of late. But early on in games, that's when they play their best. And the offensive line with the Los Angeles Chargers is very good when you talk about Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt. But when you look at the interior of this offensive line, I have a lot of concerns here. They have a very good defensive tackle in Brian Bresee. And you look at Bradley, can he hold up against him at that center position? So far, he has been struggling in every single game this season. And he had a lot of struggles last week against the Arizona Cardinals in terms of getting a push up front. And the same against the Steelers a couple of weeks as well. So when you go against this New Orleans Saints team, you have to run a lot of toss plays, a lot of stretch plays, a lot of outside zone, because the interior of the offensive line may be a problem for the Los Angeles Chargers in this matchup. They also have Carl Granderson as well, who led the team in sacks last season. And he's been a very good pass rusher this season as well. Be on the lookout for him as he matches up with a guy like Joe Alt, and also be on the lookout for Rashawn Slater in this game as well. Those 2 top tackles, they may be tested a lot in this game. The New Orleans Saints do have a lot of problems going on defensively as well. You want to get the football out quick and force them to make tackles in space. They have not been able to tackle in space the last 2 weeks. They're not able to do it against the Denver Broncos. They're not able to do it against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers either. But you look at it from this standpoint. The Chargers just played on Monday night. The last time we saw the New Orleans Saints was on Thursday. They have a mini bye week, so be wary of that as well. But look at the Chargers. The key to victory is this: taking care of the football, run the football, and let Justin Herbert go out there and dink and dunk his way down the field and call a deep shot down the field here and there, working off of play action, and go for it on 4th down. Do not kick field goals in this game with the New Orleans Saints. They want to play through their defense just like the Los Angeles Chargers want to do, and they want to play through their run game as well. And when I mean take care of the football, Jalen Reagor had a huge catch last week. His only catch on the day, 1 catch for 41 receiving yards. And guess what he did in the red zone? He fumbled the football. You have to take care of the football in this game. Get Jalen Reagor as a decoy, moving deep down the field. You can dink and dunk your way with Ladd McConkey. Hopefully Quentin Johnston can play in this game. When you look at the defense for the Los Angeles Chargers, last week was a very good week. Yes, they lost against the Arizona Cardinals. It came down to a late field goal, but they did a very good job. They did give up big plays to James Conner and to Kyler Murray. This is a good thing for the Chargers. Spencer Rattler is going to be the starting quarterback for this game. He doesn't have the speed of a Kyler Murray, but you have to get a lot of pressure on this kid. Now, this is a beat-up offensive line for the New Orleans Saints. This should be a good game for the Los Angeles Chargers front 7. And I'm looking at Khalil Mack here. And I'm looking at the defensive tackles as well. Joey Bosa is questionable for this game. He missed last week's matchup against the Arizona Cardinals. Go out there and blitz Spencer Rattler, but blitz him from the inside. Do a lot of wall stunt blitzes. And this is why you want to do this. The interior of the offensive line with the New Orleans Saints, that's their weakest point right now because they're missing their star center in Eric McCoy. He's been out over the last couple of weeks. He's going to miss this game as well. They are down to their 3rd center, Connor McGovern, and he's not the best starting center to have on a week-to-week basis. So go out there and test out the interior of the offensive line and blow up those run plays as well. Make Alvin Kamara be a non-factor in this game. You want to go out there and force Spencer Rattler to beat you with his arm and play press man coverage. Chris Olave is on pace to play this week. He wasn't able to play last week. The same with Rashid Shaheed. Yes, they went out there and they signed Marquez Valdes-Scantling, but this is one of the best defenses in the NFL with the Los Angeles Chargers. And you have Coach Jesse dialing things up as well. Go out there and be aggressive against the Saints team. You're going against a rookie. Make his life hell. I'm looking at Christian Fulton in this matchup and Cam Hart as well. Play that press man coverage. And yes, it may be a situation to where Chris Olave may beat you over the top. You're going to have Derwin James help you out over the top as well. You want Spencer Rattler to go out there, face a lot of pressure, and try to force him to make type throws into certain windows. That's what you want to do. The Denver Broncos did that a couple weeks ago, and guess what? It worked out into their favor. Put a lot of pressure on this kid, take the run game away, and force him to beat you with his arm. And you can even put a guy like Chris Olave in double coverage. But I believe that a guy like Christian Fulton, who's been a superstar this year, can hold his own. When I looked at linebackers for the Los Angeles Chargers, they have to make tackles in space. I'm looking at Denzel Perryman, and I'm also looking at Henley as well. In the interior linebacking spot, they have to go out there and do a better job at tackling. They let James Conner go out there and get a lot of yards after the catch and a lot of yards after contact as well. You don't want to see that in this game. And Alvin Kamara, he has the ability to do that. Look at what he did against the Dallas Cowboys. He was able to go out there, break a lot of tackles. Look at what he did against the Carolina Panthers. Granted, those are weak defenses against the run, but you don't want to get cute here. Go out there, bring him to the ground immediately, and you can be in a very good situation. And crowd the line of scrimmage in this matchup against the New Orleans Saints. Force Spencer Rattler to beat you deep down the field. Now let's talk about the New Orleans Saints. It has been rough sledding over the last few weeks. They have not won a game since week 2 against the Dallas Cowboys. They've been dealing with a lot of injuries. No Derek Carr in this game. And Derek Carr hasn't played the last couple of weeks. The last time he played was against the Kansas City Chiefs. So now you have Spencer Rattler, who will start his 3rd game. You also look at it from this standpoint. Alvin Kamara, he is dealing with a hand injury as well and with rib injuries, but he's on pace to play in this game. Chris Olave was not able to play last week, was dealing with a concussion. He's on pace to play in this game as well. You have Cedric Wilson Jr., Mason Tippmann, and Bub Means as well. And you have Juwan Johnson. But when you look at what happened last week, it was one of the worst losses that they have suffered this year in the NFL. They went against the Denver Broncos and they lost the game 33-10. They have to go out there and start guns blazing. They've been too conservative on the offensive end. Clint Kubiak has to go out there and he has to get the pass game going early. One thing that the Chargers have struggled to deal with are quick out routes, basically out routes. They gave up a touchdown last week to Kyler Murray in the red zone to an out route. Spencer Rattler has done a very good job of throwing out routes. He did it against Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and early on against the Denver Broncos, he was having success. You can nickel and dime your way down the field. You could do that with Chris Olave. Call some screen plays with Chris Olave as well. Get him the football early in this game. You don't have Rashid Shaheed. You do have Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who you did sign. You can use him as a decoy. He doesn't have the same presence as a Rashid Shaheed, but if the Los Angeles Chargers are not careful, you can get some deep shots down the field. Use Alvin Kamara more as a receiving threat in this game and give Kendre Miller the football more so coming out of the backfield. You also have Jamal Williams as well. You want to watch out for Alvin Kamara. Yes, he just signed a 2-year extension. Congratulations to him. But this man played with broken ribs a couple of weeks ago, and he's dealing with a major hand injury. I don't know how many carries they're going to give him in this game, and that does concern me because when you look at what happened against the Denver Broncos, the man only had 7 carries for 10 rushing yards. Kendre Miller had 6 carries for 36 rushing yards. So use Kendre Miller more so as that lead running back out the backfield. And in receiving situations, give Alvin Kamara the football. But you have to find a way to give Chris Olave more touches in this game. Cedric Wilson led the team in receiving yards last week, 57 receiving yards, 1 receiving touchdown. Mason Tippmann as well came in 45 receiving yards. Just having a guy like Chris Olave to go out there and help out your rookie quarterback is going to be essential in this matchup. And I'm going to say this as well. Spencer Rattler should have a short leash in this game, in my opinion. If the game gets out of hand early in the game, you put in Jake, who came in and led a touchdown drive late in the game against the Denver Broncos. Yes, they were playing off coverage, but he did look better in that game, especially with up tempo, and run more up tempo in this game as well. Try to tire out the defense of the Los Angeles Chargers. You may look on paper and say that the Saints won't be in this matchup, but they have had a long rest period. Give them some time, and I think they can figure out the game plan here. When I look at the defense for the New Orleans Saints, they have to be better. And yes, they're dealing with injuries on the defensive side as well. But I'm looking at guys like Carl Granderson. Go back there and put a lot of pressure on Justin Herbert. The same with Brian Bresee as well. Brian Bresee has 4 sacks on the season and 1 forced fumble. You have to get pressure through the middle of this offensive line because it's going to be hard as hell to get pressure on Joe Alt or Rashawn Slater. And I'm looking at Chase Young here. Chase Young has to get to the quarterback and he has to bring him down. It was too many times last week he was in the backfield and he missed the quarterback. Justin Herbert is still one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, and he has a rocket arm. Lucky for the Saints, they don't have a true receiving threat that can make them pay on a given basis. So you can really go out there and play press man coverage if you want to, and I would suggest that the Saints do that. They've been playing a lot of zone coverage over the last couple of weeks, and they've been getting eaten up by the opposing quarterback. Look at what happened when they went against the Kansas City Chiefs. Look at what Patrick Mahomes did. Look at what happened last week against Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. You have to go out there, stop the run, be intense, and play physical defense. And it comes down to the players as well. If you're going to play zone coverage, play up and play the sticks. Look at what the Arizona Cardinals did last week to the Los Angeles Chargers. They crowded the line of scrimmage 8 yards out. Go out there, crowd the line of scrimmage, and put a lot of pressure on these young wide receivers, and watch out for Will Dissly as well. This should be a big matchup for Demario Davis in this game. It's going to be very fun to see him match up with a running back like J.K. Dobbins coming out of the backfield. Paulson Adebo is out for this game. He's going to miss the rest of this season as well. He's dealing with an upper leg injury, and that sucks to see. But you have Kool-Aid McKinstry, who is a very good rookie in my opinion. You have Marshawn Lattimore as well, and you have Tyrann Mathieu, and you have Alontae Taylor. The strength of the New Orleans Saints team defensively is their secondary. Go out there, put a lot of press man coverage on these wide receivers and force them to beat you over the top. Stop the run game, and in short yard situations, you can blitz up the middle. Really, both of these teams are having problems with their wide receiving positions. But I look at the Saints, they have a better wide receiving core in my opinion. With that being said, the Los Angeles Chargers do not blow teams out. They went out there, they took care of business against the Carolina Panthers many weeks ago. And I look at the New Orleans Saints, they're desperate for a win. I think that the Los Angeles Chargers will go out there and win this game, but it's not going to be by a huge margin. I have the Chargers winning this game 21-10. But let me know in the comment section below, who do you have winning this game, the Los Angeles Chargers or the New Orleans Saints? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. God bless. Peace.